Hi, I'm Len, and welcome back to my channel. I'm sharing my journey into retirement, and today's topic is going to be about retirement and stress. And I'd like to ask that if you like what I have to say, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I would appreciate it. And any comments you'd like to have on my video are more than welcome. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos out there on people who have retired and retired within the last, I'd say, 1 to 5 years. And a lot of the YouTubers out there talk about how when they retired, there was just this tremendous relief of stress in their lives that even if you think that you're stress free and you're loving your job, that you just don't realize the pressure relief of that stress when you retire, when all that concern is gone from you. And I just want to share my experience was a little bit different. I didn't, well, I'm only 6 weeks into retirement. Today is August 11th, and maybe I haven't fully experienced that stress decompression yet. But I think since I began planning my retirement, really thinking about it about 5 years ago, and then sitting down with my employer in the summer of 2023 and telling them that my plan was to retire in the summer of 2024, that my journey into that sort of decompression started a bit earlier. And so I didn't have that sort of falling off a cliff feeling when I retired. It was more of a gradual step right into it, and noticed certainly I had a lot more freedom in how I spent my time and what I did in my life. Um, but it wasn't a huge change. The huge change came for me was I was on an international assignment from 2018 to early 2021. Of course, a lot of that was during COVID, and I was living over in Singapore and working for a U.S. company. And anyone who's lived overseas working for a U.S. company, it can be very challenging because you're working your daytime in your local time zone. In my case, my time zone is 12 hours ahead of the U.S. in Singapore. And so I would work my whole day, and then in either the early mornings or the later evenings, I would be having my whole second day routine, working with the leaders in the US side of the company, dealing with issues and problems and whatever the topics may be. So my workday might typically have started 6 or 7 a.m. and finished 11 p.m. at night with a few breaks in there. And I did have to carve out time for me, maybe in the middle of the day when it was quieter, to get a little bit of routine in to do my health workouts and stuff, which I've talked about in another video. So there are things you need to do to help yourself, but still it was quite a large push at that point in my life, and that's probably where I felt the most pressure. And then in 21, I rotated back, knowing that now in my mind, because I'm within 5 years of retiring, that this was my last role in the company, and I was going to enjoy this role and really share my experiences and learnings with the younger people around me at that point in time. So I left a role in chemical procurement, which had to stay in Singapore because that was set up as a certain type of company there that my job needed to stay there. And having come out of R&D in my early career, my company actually said to me, "What would you like to do when you return to the U.S.?" And I said, "Well, I'd like to go back into R&D again." And of course, we're well into the next generation of scientists and leaders in R&D, and I could bring back all of my experiences and work with them and mentor them. And I really enjoyed that. And I gained back half of my life again when I did that, because my day went from like 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. pretty much to like 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I had much better balance in my life. And that's when I began to experience that decompression, that relief, that better sense of mental balance too, as well, which was important. And I kind of gradually weaned myself off of putting all that pressure on myself at work to using what needed to get done to mentor and develop others in the company. And not to say I pushed work off onto them, but they were each learning experiences that I would help them through the problem spots and so on. So, and that's how I began my journey of decompression. So, when I got up to my actual retirement, I stepped away from the job. I personally didn't feel that, like, boom, fall off the cliff and all that stress was gone because I had gradually eased into it. What I kind of find I enjoy now is the freedom to do whatever I want to do. And if I don't want to do it that day, I can do it tomorrow. There's no pressure to get it done on Saturday and Sunday anymore because they're the only 2 days I have free in the week. I now have the other days to prioritize and use my time. And I guess the other good thing too is not having to wake up to the alarm clock. So, not that I'm a late sleeper, but getting up at 4 a.m. for a number of years to manage my life, that was challenging. And but I'm an early riser. But being able to sleep into 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, boy, that's really enjoyable. And I would say that's one of the things I really do enjoy now, being 6 weeks into retirement, is not having to use that alarm clock. So that's a little bit of my experience with retirement and stress and what my journey looked like in that area. So thanks for joining me on my channel. And again, if you liked what I had to say, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and please pass along my channel to your friends and ask them to look into it and maybe subscribe to as well. Thanks and have a great day.